This is a history book that three Yoruba men then write, and they say that Igbos are not inside. And some of our people, they are complaining that why will people write history without putting the Igbos inside? Listen, let me tell you something. The Igbos are not from Nigeria, so the history they wrote is for Nigeria. You don't have to be complaining because you are not Nigerian, you are Igbos. So Yorubas cannot write your history. It is only you that will write your history. So stop crying. Are you a Nigerian? We the Igbos are not Nigerian, so they can never write our history for us. They write their history because that is their history. So don't worry, my sisters, my brothers. We are not Nigerians. It is only we that will write the history of we. Before Nigeria, there was an Igbos. Before Nigeria, there was an Biafran. So let's stop worrying ourselves. They can say anything that they want to say. That is their business, because we and them, we are not one. We are different from them. It is only we that can write our history. So the history, they can go ahead with the history. They can take a history of other people, but not the history of the Igbos, because we are Igbos. We are not Nigerian. So please, let's stop complaining. Are you a Nigerian? It will pay you that they did not put your name when you are what? You are a Nigerian. So as far that you are not a Nigerian, so you don't have anything to complain about. They don't have anything to say about the Igbos. So please, let's stop complaining. We are not Nigerian. We are Igbos. And we are Biafrans. So please, this is only what I have to say. And this is only what I have to tell my brothers and my sisters. Please, we should stop all these things. They are writing their history. They are not writing our history. So we should be happy that they did not write our history inside, because we are not Nigerian. Right from day one, we have never for one day accept that we are Nigerians. So they can never add us to the book, because we are not Nigerian. Thank you.
Now, some tribalistic, addicted tribalistic bigots under APC government came together secretly, fabricated an history of this country. Will I say embellish the history of this country by naming some majority tribes are bona fide biological tribes of Nigeria. They name Efik, they name Hausa, they name Yoruba, they name Shekiri, they name Ijos. But one of the things they failed to name there, as history may hold, is that they never state that the fact that the Ijo tribe is the oldest tribe in Nigeria, and that is the real landlord of the country called Nigeria. That alone does not agonize me, but what pains me more is that they omitted the Igbo tribe. They omitted it not to be Nigeria. Is it because of our Biafra war? And I know that that history is come together by some addicted, idiotic Yoruba.
The late Professor Chino Achebe said that until the lions have their own historians, the history of the hunts will always glorify the hunter. This statement remains very true today, especially when we look at how the history and identity of the Igbo people are often treated in Nigeria. This is not the first, the second, not the third time some of those Yoruba Rono groups will try to erase, emasculate, or misrepresent Igbo identity, history, and contributions. Over the years, there has been a repeated pattern of sidelining Ndi Igbo in national narratives, textbooks, and official records. How can a country as diverse as Nigeria approve an educational material that ignores one of its major ethnic groups? This is not just an oversight. It is deeply wrong and unacceptable, crass and unpardonable. Education shapes how future generations understand their country. And excluding the Igbo people from such materials is a serious injustice. This is one of the main reasons why some of us feel compelled to always speak out against the atrocities of those folks who always feel threatened by Igbo exploit. Whenever such wrongs occur, silence only encourages repetition. If Ndi Igbo do not challenge these actions, they will continue unchecked. Of course, the authors are Yorubas. That's their signature pattern. The names of the authors include J.M. Ishakure, O.O. Olajide, T.E. Taiwo. This guy man don't take for this business, so Taiwo. You must be such a bigot. I swear. That's the same pattern they deployed and claimed that Ajayi Crowther translated the Bible into the Igbo language. These claims has been repeated so often that many now accept it as truth, even though it is historically inaccurate. Ajayi Crowther did not spend enough time in Igbo land to translate the Bible into Igbo. How can a slave who didn't spend up to 6 months in Igbo translate the Bible into the language? Oh, a slave. The person who actually translated the Bible into Igbo was Reverend John Christopher Taylor, an Igbo man and convert who worked alongside Ajayi Crowther. Reverend Taylor did the real work of translating the scriptures into his native language. Yet, over time, his contributions has been pushed aside, while credit is wrongly given to someone else. Now go to the Yoruba Shibanyasi. Go to Matu Onyo who got there not translate the language now for centuries and decades, and they are priding in it. Are you guys stupid? Jesus Christ. Nigeria has an Igbo problem at this point. God forbid. How can someone work with you, do the bulk of the work, and then you take full credit simply because you held a higher position, such as being a bishop? That is not only unfair, it is deeply unjust. Such action erases the labor, intelligence, and dignity of the people who truly contributed. These repeated distortions show why Ndi Igbo must come out and tell their own stories. If we do not document our history, culture, and achievements, others will do it for us. And they may not tell it truthfully or fairly. Our silence gives room for lies to grow and become official history. This is a time for Ndi Igbo to write, speak, record, and preserve our stories. We must tell our children who we are, where we come from, and what we have contributed to the world. No one would defend Igbo history better than Igbo people themselves. This is what Adibo Global stands for. And trust me, we are just getting started. We all cannot afford to remain silent. Speaking out is no longer a choice. It is a responsibility. When injustices like this are ignored, they become normalized.
Over the past 72 hours, these news have been a trending topic on X, formerly known as Twitter, and as I always do, when I don't see a news making the headlines as I expect it to make, when I don't see it as a trending topic across other social media platforms, I just have to bring it to the front burner for Nigerians to see what is currently going on in their country. And for the next few minutes, please bear with me while we watch this video.
You know, Igbos are the most worthless tribe in Nigeria. Yeah, you heard it. Igbos are the most worthless tribe in Nigeria. Get angry all you like, but they are just all mouth and no depth, just mouth. Because if they are not, why should this be happening in Nigeria right now? Why should this be happening? You know how they told us that they removed history from the Nigerian curriculum because they didn't want sentiments, you know, because of the war, the civil war. But history just got reintroduced to the Nigerian educational system. And guess what? Guess what they put inside here? See, before now, my son came and asked me, I said, Dad, I thought Igbos were the third biggest tribe in Nigeria. I said, yes. He said, how come there is no Igbo in their history book? I was shocked. I took their book and I looked at it. All the history of all the major tribes in Nigeria. We have the Hausa states, Kanuri Empire, Nupe, Igala, Yorubas, Bini Kingdom, Efik, Niger Delta, and Shekiri. No Igbo. For a tribe that has almost 5 to 6 states in Nigeria. No Igbo whatsoever. The painful part of it is that, you see this Efik here? No, I bet, Efik people want to know so. But see this Efik here? Then put them on purpose. It was put here on purpose to let the Igbos know that we know what we are doing and we are worthless. I don't want to talk about the people that wrote the book, but this is the junior secondary school revised. This is the junior secondary school revised standard edition. JS1. You know, the funny part is that our biggest flex as Igbos is just two things: to build houses and paint them white so we can show them every December on Twitter, on social media, and of course name our children Jewish names. That's the only thing that we know how to do best right now. Because if this is happening, like, we have been erased from our history.
All right.
Rubbish.
Where do I even start from? I'm just gonna have to break this down, and honestly speaking, this is gonna be very, very brutal. He said something, he doesn't want to talk about the names. I will talk about the names. I will talk about the authors, because in such instances like this, it is very, very important you shame and name drop these people. If you don't shame and name drop these people, then you're giving rooms for future stuff like this to happen in the country. Let me just quickly name the authors. The authors are O.M. Isekure, O.O. Olajide, and T.E. Taiwo. These are the three authors of the book, The Living History for Junior Secondary School. So they start indoctrinating our children from young, from when they're like 10, their formative age, 10 to 13 years. Let them start reading this fake history. This is the same propaganda they used in the Igbo coup of 1966. I want you guys to understand, this is a trend. History keeps repeating itself. If you fail to learn from history, you're bound to make the same mistake that happened in the past. This is exactly the same playbook. The difference is that we have social media that we can counter such narratives. When you bring these narratives out, there are people that are willing to bust the line. And many people might look at it is actually an intentional act. I want to repeat this. It's actually an intentional act. If you have been following my series for a couple of months right now, you would have seen how much I've talked about Bola Ahmed Tinubu's state institutionalization of bigotry and tribalism. I've always insisted, I've always said that every bigotry, every tribalism you see on the social space was intentionally hatched by this government, because they understand one key thing: keep Nigerians divided, keep them fighting against themselves. They can never unite along common grounds. Nigerians will always stay divided and fighting for their tribe and region. But let's look at this holistically and ask ourselves, who is the current Minister of Education in Nigeria, if you may ask? Dr. Tunji Alausa. Who are the people that are in charge of making sure that this kind of books pass through the curriculum of Nigerian students? In a country whereby history was erased, and you're reintroducing history back to our primary curriculums for our children, you now omit a very sensitive topic, because they know actually that this topic, there's no how you do this and you expect that it will not come out to the limelight. There is no how. There is no how this stuff now they have done. They didn't know that people will find out and people will talk about it. But let's still do it. That just shows the kind of people that we're dealing with in our country. The kind of people that we have allowed to take the center stage of our country. And this goes down to the Igbo leaders, especially all those hobnobbing right now with APC. In my last few videos that I made, I kept saying that the political southeastern people should understand that their greatest rivals are the political elite from the southwest. I kept saying this, it's not as if I'm pitching these two people against each other, but it is just the truth. Left for these guys, the southeast will be relegated, because when it comes to the so-called equation of division of power in Nigeria, it is always going to be along the lines of the northern and the southern protectorate, according to how it was created by Lord Lugard. Southern protectorate, northern protectorate, and so therefore if power is moving along these equators from the north to the south. And so forever that the power must be coming to the south, the southwestern elite class will always position themselves to take that power. They are not here for you. This is just one more example. Where are the southeastern leaders? Where are our governors? Where are our senators? Where are our House of Rep members? Where are the elite class of the southeastern people? And that's why I'm bringing it to the attention of the world, because you people should go and start dragging them. Because I know how many of them enter my DM over the last video I made. So you people should please go and start dragging them. These are intentional issues that this country, this government has created to make sure that the southeast is relegated. Now we're speaking today in Nigeria today. I dare say if a true census is conducted in Nigeria today, the southeast will be the most populous set of people. Igbos are the most populous people in Nigeria. Because in every state you go to in Nigeria, let me repeat this, in every state you go to in Nigeria, after the indigenous people of that state, the second most populated people in that state are probably the Igbos. In every state in Nigeria. And those people today cannot produce a Senate president, cannot produce a president, cannot produce the vice president, cannot produce the House of Rep speaker. What they relegate is this clown that is jumping up and down and calling himself deputy speaker or what? It's what they can produce that's making noise. How weak the political elites of the South are today. Well, this is just me bringing this to the attention of the public to understand this is one more of Tinubu's game plan in institutionalizing bigotry and tribalism into the affairs and trying to wipe out the history of one of the founding foundations of this country, while the elite class are all hobnobbing, trying to find themselves into what they call city boys.
You see this man on my screen, this man that said that Igbo are the most worthless tribe in Nigeria. You see this man? I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure because I'm not really sure that this man is from Igbo land. I'm not sure because even his face, only his face will show you that he's not an Igbo person. Because if he's an Igbo person, he won't say this, that Igbos are the most worthless tribe in Nigeria. And this man, I want you to tag this man, tag him, let him watch this video. Because some people don't get sense, some people don't know how to talk. Some people don't know how to talk. They just open their mouth and start saying rubbish. Start saying whatever they want. This man, if you are an Igbo man, if truly you are an Igbo man, we need an apology from you for saying that. We need an apology from you for saying that Igbos are the most worthless tribe in Nigeria. Because if you have sense, you will not say that. And because of the history, okay, let me just go straight to the point. You know, they now introduce another study, like subject, history in Nigeria. So now, this history in Nigeria, Igbo tribe was not written there. Ndi Igbo no there. It's only Yoruba, Hausa, Efik, and so on, and other tribes in Nigeria. But Igbo is not there. What does that mean? It means that Igbo has been separated. They are out from Nigeria. And this is what we are looking for. This is what we want. And Nigeria have started doing it for us. For them not to put Igbo history in their history book, what does it mean? It means that Igbos are going out. They have already started taking us out from Nigeria. When you go to the government sectors, it's hardly you see Igbos there. So the way they are erasing Igbos is this also the way they are erasing Igbos from every part, the way they just did in history. But Oga that said that thing. And he also said that Igbos, all we know how to do best is to paint our house white and bring it on social media. Oga, do you want us to go and do a Babelala? Do you want us to sit down? Are you not proud? If you are ashamed of yourself, if you are ashamed of yourself, maybe you don't have a house in your place, and you don't have a place you paint white and bring it up on social media and show. Okay, your shame, they shame me. Your shame, they shame me. Because we Igbos, we are proud of ourselves. That is what is keeping us here today. Anywhere we go, we build house. Anywhere we go, we don't like. Do you want us to be in Bacha? Do you want us to be in Bacha just like the Hausa people used to do? Do you want our house, our houses in our villages, in our places to look what I don't know? Oga, you have to apologize to Igbos for using those words. Those words are too harsh on us. We are happy. That is to show you they have removed Igbo in the history. We the Igbos are happy about that. We are happy about that. That is to show the world that we are no longer in Nigeria. The Igbos are no longer in Nigeria because they have removed the history. There was no history subject in Nigeria before, but now they introduced it back in Nigeria, but they removed the Igbos history. What does that mean? It means that they don't want us in Nigeria. For them to put all the whole tribes, their history, all the whole tribes in Nigeria, their history are there in the history book.
But Igbo's history is not there. What do you expect? Oga, are you okay? Are you okay? Is that not a sign to show you that Nigerians doesn't want Igbos? Is that not a sign? So why do you come here? Why do you come here on social media to start saying all those things? If we don't give our children a Ijaw name, which name do you want us to give them? Should I give them Hausa name? Please share this video. We are proud of ourselves. We Igbos, we are very proud of ourselves. Anywhere we go, we develop that place. Anywhere we go, we develop that place. So if you're not proud of yourself, or you are not happy about what we are doing, Oga, leave. We are proud of ourselves. We work hard. We the Igbos, anywhere we find ourselves, we work hard. Go and ask questions if you don't know. Anywhere we go, if that place is undeveloped, we the Igbos develop it. We don't care if it's our place or not. We find ourselves anywhere we go. We find ourselves. We find ourselves. We are comfortable anywhere we go. We make it our home. We help the country, the society, to build their economy. Go and ask questions. So that is what is keeping us in Nigeria, because a lot of us, so many places in Nigeria, they have mansions, they have investment, they have everything. They don't want to bring it. They don't want all those things to go. That's why most of them are still. They don't want us to leave Nigeria. So, Oga, if you are an Igbo man, we need an apology from you for saying that. But if you are not an Igbo man, which I don't know, because a real Igbo man will not come out and start saying these things you said. Even your face, you don't look like Igbo. So, if you are an Igbo, we need an apology from you. But if you're not an Igbo, I understand. They grieve.
Good day to our viewers all over the world, and welcome back to Local Journal. We can see how these people are further dividing the country and try to divide people more across ethnic lines. This is no longer making sense again, because I feel like these people are taking the Igbo people for granted, and that's actually because the Igbos are enduring the excesses of these people. That's why all these things are happening. I don't just understand why you have 3 major tribes in Nigeria, but you choose to intentionally ignore one particular tribe just because of your shared hatred and disdain, bias against the tribe. Is there any sense in this whole thing? There is no sense. Nigeria always, especially the North, always advocate for unity. The West sometimes advocate for unity as well. A vast majority of them advocate for the unity of Nigeria and our indivisibility. Nothing says we are indivisible, and nothing says we should be together forever as one. However, if you want us to be tolerant of one another, whilst our differences still exist, then you guys should look for a way to ensure that there is peaceful coexistence between one another, because this whole rubbish that is going on all in the name of your shared hatred for these people is uncalled for and no longer making sense, because it stinks already, and it's high time the government does something about it. And it's also high time the Igbo people put these people in their place, because if it continues like this without being addressed, it will become a normal thing. They'll normalize it, and they'll keep on bringing more just to spite the Igbos. So this is not making any sense. In all fronts, I condemn it, and it shouldn't be like this. I'm not even sure a history book like that should even have any place in our public domain, because it's writing a wrong narrative about the country and people who fought genuinely for the struggle of this country. This is my opinion. Drop what you think about this in the comment section, and if this is your first time to visit our channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel.